Okay, to prepare a model now for a green roof, I've gone ahead and removed the PV panels on the top, a lot of the trees from the site, actually all of them. If we go to the site plan, you can see there's no more trees, we just have the building. The PV panel layer is still there, so let's go ahead, we'll get rid of that. I'll just go ahead and delete that. And we'll get rid of the one view there. And we can leave the renderings in the set. I'm still using that same drawing template, but no, there's nothing populating it. So let's go back to our 3D view. And what's going to go forward with this, we're going to make a composite roof. And right now we have just basically this very deep 24-inch deep roof that anticipates having structure and insulation in it. And I'm going to go ahead right away and just delete it because we're going to go ahead and make a new roof. But we're going to support that, and it's going to be a concrete roof, a composite concrete roof on a corrugated metal decking. And I'm going to put some trusses across here, some beams actually, to support the load of those. I'll put those 4 foot on center, and I'll let them span from the front of the building to the back. And that brings up a few structural issues that we haven't resolved, like how would we carry that load here, but we can kind of address that later on. So right away what I want to do is I'm going to go to, I'll go to level 2, and I'm already in structure. You probably were in architecture. I'll go to structure, and we'll ask for a beam. It says there's none loaded, so we're going to go out and find some. Now I went to structural trusses before, and that was actually the wrong place to go. What I want to do is I want to go out here to structural framing. Very critical to get you to the right navigation of areas. And we're going to go to steel. And then I'm going to look for a truss system. So they have these K trusses, which is actually fine. We'll use the angled one, K-series bar joist with angles. We'll go ahead and open that up, and that'll ask us to make some kind of a determination for what we want. And I'm going to go ahead and
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
whoops, my Siri is asking me if I can help. She's overhearing my voice. Let me turn that off, and let's pick something. Well, I don't want to load all of these in, so let's go ahead. We'll just pick a few of these. Just pick one of them. Actually, this is the just the weight of it, kind of giving to its structure. 1 foot 6 inches deep. This is just really arbitrary at this point. We're just trying to lay out some structure. So I'll do the 1 foot 6 inch deep K truss. And then when we go back and get ready to apply that, we can come in and apply it. And I'm going to start and put these about 4 foot on center. So I'll make one, I'll put one in place. And we'll go ahead and we'll actually look at that in the 3D view. All right, and we can look at its placement here. And I'm not exactly happy with its placement because I want a little bit of offset on the ends. So I'm going to start with a 6 inch offset, let's say. Let's see how that works. And that worked on the other side, and we'll end with 6 inches. And that'll just hold us over a place where our structure will be. You'll notice this will get shorter, or it should get shorter. Oops, that's start, and I put 0 back in there. It's the end offset I want to change. Okay, so now we place that, and we don't really, we're right at the top level of level 2, which is fine. Our roof will go on top of level 2. If I was to zoom in here a little bit closer, you can see how that's sitting there. And we're going to have some kind of a structure that would be bearing on top of that, on that very edge of it. And I might actually change these. This is a really thick wall because we have a super insulated building here, I think. High performance wall. So why don't we just make these come right, we'll leave it. We'll leave it, that's fine. I was going to probably over detail this. Now that's going right through our bathroom wall, but that's actually okay. We would just frame around that or fur around that. And, you know, thoughts of making sure we'd specify the kind of detailing would need to go in there to make sure that it was soundproof. So let's go back to level 2 again. We have our framing truss here. Actually, we probably can grab it at level, excuse me, level 1. Let's hope I can still talk. Something got my throat. Okay, so we have the truss in place. Excuse me for that. And I'm going to go ahead and copy that over. I'm going to use the moldable tool. And I'm going to put them 4 foot apart. So I just grab it anywhere and type in 4. And actually what I could do is make an array. So I'll do this one more time. I'll hit array. And let's say we'll make, I don't know, 6 of them. And I'll grab it and make it specifically 4 again. And there's 6 of them. And I can just change this number. Let's make it 12, see what that does. All right, and so we have plenty, and one is too close to the side wall here, so we're going to just delete that. And we'll just center these a little bit. I'm not really critical about the layout. I just want us to get the idea of putting structure in here. But I'm going to grab all of these. Actually, I'll just select all instances. It's not going to let me do it. I'll have to go ahead and pick them all individually. And we'll just move this over a little bit. I'm thinking about 6 inches. So they're relatively centered. And we'll go back to our 3D view. And now we have all of our truss assemblies going through, and they're 4 foot on center. So we've got a substantial amount of structure in place here. Possibly we have too much. So I'm going to end this clip right now, and when we pick it back up again, well, actually, let's just do one more thing. Let's move our ceiling down so it gets out of the girder area. So I'm going to select all instances visible in the view and set their elevation. Let's just try -1. Oh, actually, it occurred to me, we have to correct the overall elevation of these because these are objects that are based on the floor level. So I'm going to double click into it just so you can see how this was originally created. Go to the front elevation of it, and that's our arbitrary plane. And I'm just going to grab this now and move it down a foot. And we're going to load that back into the project and overwrite the existing. And now I move that down below the trusses. So we also have some interference here with our HVAC system, and we can deal with that. But we're really concerned now with just putting in a base structure so we can then start to put our roof system in. So when I come back again, we'll take a look at making our composite roof deck.